Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where, with it being Wednesday, it is Rat Run Day, Rat Run number 34 today, on reflection by the unbelievably talented Marty Sears. Now this one has only got three stars out of 5 for difficulty, and here it is on Logic Masters. We have to visit Logic Masters. I hope you'll be able to see that on the screen. Oh, it might be. I'll be able to read it to you anyway, but we need to read the story and find out what's going on, don't we? Back on the 15th of April, 1975, Experiment 34 Aqua. This week seems to have lasted a lifetime. The lab feels like an entirely different place now, and I'm starting to realize how little I actually knew about him. He was past tense. Oh dear. I hope nothing serious has happened to Elliot. He was undoubtedly a genius. Certainly not without his flaws, but beneath it all a good man. I don't think I'll ever fully understand what happened or why he chose to keep so much from me. I expect he had his reasons. It feels instinctively wrong to continue Phase 3 without him, but if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that he would have found the alternative unthinkable. The study must be completed. Oh dear. Oh no, poor Elliot. This is terrible. Now, for those of you who haven't been with us from the very first episode, Marty sent me something brilliant this week. I might be able to... where did I put it? Was it at that? Yes. This is... it's like a file that includes all of the rat runs so far. So you can see there's pictures, and then there's the excerpt from the story, and spoiler alert, there's also the solution message as well for all of the episodes. So if you do want to catch up, then this would be a lovely way to do it. Now I'll have to work out whether I can share that with you. I think I do have the option now to add a file to a YouTube video. If I do, I will do that so you can see it. If I don't, I'll probably have to post it as a community note on the channel. But I will try and somehow share that document with you, because I know for some people, especially if you're late coming to this incredible series, the whole story might not be as close to the front of your memory. Do you think of your memory as having front bits and back bits? I do, but it might not be as close to the front as you'd like it to be, and this will be a way to catch up. But before we get to the rules of on reflection, what else do I have to tell you about? There are some things I meant to mention today. I've just got to remember what they were. Oh, I tell you what, the first thing I should mention is that Marty has designed Rat Run merch now, which is incredible. It's incredible. I might be able to show you it. Maybe that one. Yes. This is the Rat Run merch. You can see these beautiful mugs, the mouse mats, I think, and this coaster. I've got my eye on that one. Anyway, this is all brand new, and definitely, I think, worth your attention. So if you do like Rat Run, go over there and get yourself some merch. Other news: bonus video on the channel today. Mark solving a puzzle created for us by Jane Street. I had to test that one, and I won't tell you how long it took me to solve, but it was quite a long time. Yeah, if you want to watch Mark do battle with it, that's gone live on the channel earlier on today. There's so much content we're putting out at the moment. There's that video, which is a bonus. Then, of course, you've got Wordle in a Minute every day, Cracking the Minute Cryptic every day, bonus crossword video on Fridays, as well as the normal fare, the 2 Sudoku videos, one at 8:30 p.m. and one at 11 p.m, which we've been doing since the start of the first COVID pandemic, which now feels... I don't like to think about it, actually. I don't know if anyone else feels like that. It feels like just a bit of a black spot in my mind. But even though the channel sort of did very well in that period, some part of my brain resists thinking too hard about it. Anyway, Anyway, what else is going on? Over on Patreon, there's Sandra and Nala's Sudoku hunt, which for the month of April, which is well, thousands of you have been enjoying that, so that's great. If you want a bit of extra content over there, we've got a brand new app out, but I've got one birthday to do as well. Let me look at my list. Katie, no. Well, Katie wrote to me about Owen's birthday. That's what happened. Yeah, and the reason I've got myself in a bit of a pickle about this is a few days ago, Owen wrote to me about Katie's birthday twice. So forgive me. But Owen, it's your birthday today. You've turned 36. I owe you a big debt of thanks because you spread the word about the channel, I think, to Katie, who's now starting to get addicted to. It is, I think, the best form of vice. This, if you get addicted to this sort of brain food, it's really quite a nice way to spend a bit of time every day. And so, Owen, thank you for spreading the word. Katie, thank you for writing in, and I hope the two of you have a great birthday today. Well, no, I know it's not Katie's birthday, but it was Katie's birthday, and I hope the chocolate cake is very fine indeed. Now, I think that's everything, and we've read the story. So why don't we have a go at Rat Run 34 on reflection by the great Marty Sears. The rules of this one are as follows. We have got normal Sudoku rules applying, so we're going to have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. The aim of the experiment: Finkz and Phinx, that's Finkz with an F and Phinx with a PH, must both reach different cupcakes by finding a path through the maze. The paths must not visit any cell more than once, cross themselves or each other, share cells, or pass through any thick maze walls. Now, last week we couldn't do diagonals. Could we do diagonals today? As well as moving orthogonally, they may move diagonally if there's a 2x2 space in which to do so, but may never pass diagonally through a round wall spot on the corner of a cell. So we have got diagonals today, so let's go to the line drawing tool. So we could presumably do that move, because there's no round wall spots, but we couldn't do that one because that would go through a round wall spot and that would be too naughty for words. Blackcurrants. Yeah, we've got 2 today. If a blackcurrant sits between 2 digits, one is double the other. So what does that mean? If this was a 4, that could be an 8 because 8 is double 4, or it could be a 2 because 4 is double 2. Redcurrants. If a red... Oh, sorry, that cough is still lingering. If a redcurrant sits between 2 digits, one is odd and the other is even. So we've only got 3 of those, actually. So if this was an odd digit, this would be an even digit, and vice versa. Grapes. If a grape sits between 2 digits, they have a difference of at least 5. So if this was a 1, this digit's at least 6 to be sufficiently different. It could be 6, 7, 8, or 9. Video cameras. The digit on a grey camera indicates the total sum of the digits in any visited cells that the camera lens points towards before a wall is reached which blocks vision. A video camera cell itself may not be entered. Wow, okay. So that video camera, you look at how many cells the rats go through in this direction, add them up, and write the total in the video camera, I think. Now, the test constraint. Now, these are always different each and every time. What have we got today? In this experiment, all of the low digits in the grid, 1s, 2s, and 3s, must be visited. But none of the high digits, 7s, 8s, and 9s, may be visited. The 2 rats' paths must be perfect reflections of each other across the positive diagonal marked with a thin pink line. Oh, good grief. The 2 rats' paths must be perfect reflections of each other. Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, so That's the rule, and we've got to go through 1s, 2s and 3s and not through 7s, 8s and 9s, and presumably 4s, 5s and 6s we might go through or we might not. That is fascinating. Anyway, I've thought of something straight away, so do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. That was the doorbell. I have to keep an ear open for whether or not I should go down and maybe I should just go and check. Hang on a second, I will be back. Sorry. Well, I mean, not that we got anywhere. An urgent delivery of washing powder. Now, what was I was thinking about something just before the doorbell rang. Oh yes, I know what I was thinking. So I was thinking the rats' paths have to be reflections of one another. So what that means is that we can't cross the central thingy, technical term for the diagonal, because if we did, a perfect reflection of that path. So for example, if the rat here went like that, this rat would have to go like that to be a perfect reflection, and they would cross, they would share the cell, and that's not allowed by the rules. I have learnt this over the period of solving rat runs. So in fact, very rarely for one of the rat runs, we know exactly which cupcake this rat is going to that. She must be going to that one, and this rat is going to that one. So what we could do, well, we should decide, shouldn't we, which is which. So let's make this one pinks and this one can be inks. So we should do that. And because the path, I'm not sure if it's sensible to do this, but I think I will. I was going to say I might just mark these off as unvisitable, like with grey. My only slight reticence about that is I have to remember, see, it looks like that's precluding a move like this, because we go through the diagonal of that grey block, which is absolutely legitimate, because there's no round wall spot preventing that. So I've got to be careful not to assume that any grey blockage is actually preventing a diagonal move. Now, hang on. The rules also said something about cameras. So the cameras are not entered. So let's go back. Cameras are not on the path either. Okay, so I can see that inks has to go through there then to get to the cupcake, because this little area here is completely hypothecated, or it's completely closed off, isn't it? You can't get into it other than going through there. So we can draw that in, and then we can draw the reflection of that, which must be that. Yeah, okay, and that makes total sense because, well, actually I say that. Yeah, that's okay. So the puzzle is called On Reflection. Now look at the positive diagonal here and imagine the grid folded into itself across it. Imagine it was a piece of paper and you folded it along that crease. All The whole thing, okay, the whole thing is symmetrical. The positions of the cameras are symmetrical. I think the positions of the walls are symmetrical. At first blush, they look symmetrical to me. There may be a difference, but I'm not seeing one as I'm scanning through them now. The only difference I'm seeing is not a difference. I mean, it's a difference in the colour of those dots. They are symmetrically placed, but this is a grape and this is a redcurrant. And other than that, the whole thing is completely symmetrical, which is weird. I mean, that is a remarkable. So do we think that these are going to be important early, or are they disambiguating late? I'm more tempted towards the latter, but I'm not sure. Okay, and I have to go through 1s, 2s, and 3s always, which means, well, it means I have to spend at least 3 cells of time in like column 1, row 9, this column. Any box I've got to go into at least, so I've got to go in there, I've got to go in there, I've got to go in there. And I've got grapes. I can't go. So the central cell can't, because I can't visit it. Because if one rat visits it, both rats have to visit it. It can't be a 1, 2, or a 3, and it can't be a 4 actually. So it can't be a 1, 2, or 3 because because both rats would have to visit it. If it was a 4. Both of these cells would have to equal 9 because 4 only has one neighbour across a grape. And that it can't be 5 for reasons some of you will be familiar with. It's sort of a secret of Sudoku that on a grape you can't have a 5 because there's no digit that's at least 5 different. So the digit in here, it can't be 6 actually, because 6 would cause double 1. So that's genuinely a high digit. It's a 7, 8, or a 9. And therefore, these digits are from 1, 2, 3, and 4 in order to be 5 different from this one. And neither of them, oh no, they could be. I'm wrong. Because 4 is a visitable digit. But what? Okay, but but these are both visited then, because one of them is not a 4. One of them might be a 4, but the one that isn't a 4 must be visited. And therefore, because one of them visits one of these cells, the other one does as well. Because the path is symmetrical, or the two paths are symmetrical around the diagonal. So these are on the paths. So let's have a colour for on the path. And that's jolly important for the following reason. Okay, so now I know what I can do now. I can take small pleasures. Who could deny us these? Not me. Gin toddies, far measures, no skimping if you please. Now. Don't know. Yes, do know. Video cameras. Video cameras sum digits. So if the path only used one of these cells, this digit would be repeated in the column. So say this was on the path, but this wasn't, then this should show that digit's only that digit sum, and you get a repeat. So it must be both of those digits, which means it's both of these digits. Yeah, okay. So now in box 7, I know I'm not allowed to visit 7s, 8s and 9s, but I do visit every single other cell, so these must be 7, 8, I love this. This is very cool. These must be 7, 8 and 9, and these must be... One of the black dots has to be 3, 6. Sorry, the way I'm saying that is that 4, 8 is now being ruled off a black dot, which means one black dot is going to be either a 1, 2 pair or a 2, 4 pair, but not both. We couldn't use 1 and 2 and have a separate black dot, or blackcurrant being a 2, 4. So that means one black dot is 3, 6. I don't know which one, but one of them is. And the other will be... the other will have 2 on it, and either 1 or 4. So 5... Yeah, it's lovely actually, isn't it? That's going to give me a digit. Because 5, in fact, maybe this is how I should have started. 5 can never go on a blackcurrant because no Sudoku digit is double it or halve it. So once we'd reached this situation, I know one of the rats is a 5, but therefore across the redcurrant, we need an even digit, and that's going to give me an 8. So that's rather a... And now, okay, so now, yeah, and now we know that we know we need an odd digit here. And what odd digits have we got left? We know 3 is on a blackcurrant, 7 and 9 are not available, and 5 is in the other rat, so it must be a 1, 5 pair. And therefore, the blackcurrants are a 2, 4, whoopsie, a 2, 4, whoopsie again, a 2, 4 pair and a 3, 6 pair. That's actually a bit weird, isn't it? Because you don't know at this point whether Inks and therefore Phinx goes like that. Oh, actually, I can see that she doesn't do that. Or I was going to say, or like that. But actually, she can't do this because this video camera would be too big, wouldn't it? What we can't do in Sudoku, it's a similar principle. If you've done arrow Sudoku before, you'll be familiar with this. You can't add 4 different digits in Sudoku and give yourself another digit. Because if all of those were on the path, this digit would be summing 4 different digits, and 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10, and we can't write 10 into this cell. So that little straight here is unusable. That cell is unusable, in fact, which means that cell is unusable. So we have to come through those 2, which means we have to come through those 2. So let's draw the paths in. So Inks is doing this, and Phinx is doing that. Okay, and one of these video cameras is a 9, and we know that because one of the blackcurrants is 3. In fact, there we know what they are, don't we? One of them is a 9, and the other one is adding 2 plus 4, so is 6. So this is a 6, 9 pair, and they are different. And okay, they're different. So this digit's a 7. Sorry, I should have seen that instantly and just wasn't thinking about that at all. If this was a 9, you couldn't put 9 in either of those, and therefore you couldn't put 3, 6 in either of those. So does that have to be high then? Are we always going to get 7, 8, 9 up the diagonal? I don't think you have to. I don't think it has to be 7, 8, 9. It might turn out to be, but I don't think logically it's essential that it is. Ah, wait a minute. Hang on. Oh, I've broken it. I've got the puzzle wrong. Ah, that's really annoying. What have I done wrong there then? The reason I've got it wrong is I've just realised that this video camera and this video camera, they see the whole of their rows and columns. So we know in every row and column, the 1, 2 and the 3 will be on the path. So these have to both be 6s. But then I can't make either of these a 6. But then... why doesn't that... I can't make this... no, because if I make the video camera a low digit, so say I made it a 3 and said it was adding a 1 and a 2, but then the 3 is meant to be visited. I don't understand. How can this video camera not see 1, 2 and 3 in the row? Oh, because there's there's a wall. There was a rule about a wall. Hang on. Before a wall is reached that blocks vision. Right. Oh, well, okay. This is actually this. Oh, sorry, it's windy again, and I might have to go and block my door if it's really going to stay windy. Otherwise, it's going to keep slamming. I'll risk it. I'll risk it for one more bang. Yeah, what I was going to say, which I think this is going to be very important, isn't it? Is that this video camera is summing only a maximum of 2 digits. Well, it can't, because there's a wall so soon. So if it only summed one of the digits, it would be the same digit. So it must sum both of them. That's both of those have got to be on the path. And therefore, both of those have got to be on the path. Right. So I know what these digits are. This is lovely. That's going to break the dichotomy, this dilemma that we were on the horns of. We've now sorted it out. Look, because on a grape, the nature of a grape, because the different digits are different by 5, is that one of them is going to be a 6, 7, 8 or 9. But we know that both are path cells. So the one that's a high digit that's on the path must be a 6, because 7, 8 and 9 are always off the path. But once you put 6 in one of these cells, what? It's going to have to partner a 1, and I'm going to have to do that something with the door. Sorry. Careful use of Nick Faldo's autobiography and precision bidding in ACL can be used to push the door very closed. So hopefully that will help. Now, what was I? Yeah, so this has to be a 1-6 pair. And now this has to be a 9. This has to be a 6. And 9 must be the sum of 3 and 6. So 6 is the sum of 2 and 4. Now, so this is not a 1. Okay. And that is a 7, I suppose, isn't it? We must do that because it's summing just those 2 cells together. So, what does that mean? So, are they joined together? Do we think that they are... I can see they're both on the path, but is it possible that they're not... It could well be possible, actually. Hang on, let me just show you what I mean. If the path sort of did that, would that be legitimate? Might be. Okay. Do I know the path does that? I do know that, don't I? So if the path went down, how would this? No. Okay. So we can rule out. I think that's quite good actually, because so what I'm thinking about is whether this is a possible path segment. Now the issue that I think does arise there is for this cell, because now the path of inks has to get in and out of this cell somehow. But the path in will have to go through this cell, and the path out will have to go through that cell. There's only one way in. If we make this a line segment, there's only one way in to that portion of the grid. Well, yeah, and it's through this cell. So you could come into that P pentomino from here and here, but you'd inevitably both in and out would take this cell. Doesn't work, does it? So we can do that, which puts that on the path, which puts this on the path, and therefore Inks's path. It's weird actually how I've focused so much on pinks. No, inks. So far. But now, no, you could still get bonkers stuff going on. You could still get that, I think. Actually, you couldn't do that. Not just because it's totally ridiculous, but you couldn't do that for a different reason, which is that there would be a problem then with 8 and 9 in row 7. Where would they go? They'd have to both go there. And then I don't think you can get this cell and get out again. If both of these are blocked off, that won't work, will it? So does that mean that those are joined up? If they weren't joined up, then you'd have to do that. Yeah, that does. So that does mean, because we just simply cannot do what I just, with the funny M shape, we have to join those up. I don't think that means we know. I don't think that means we know what happens next. Well, I know. Okay. That's still important, though, because Inks is in... Well, what we need to consider is how these two path ends, and there are 2 of them, both have to continue, because the only place they're stopping is at cupcake or at mouse. Rat. So this has to continue and this has to continue. And they're both going somehow. I don't know how they're getting there, but their only next move is into box 9. So they're going into box 9, which means they have to leave box 9 again. So one of them's going to have to go through there, and one of them's going to have to go through there. There's no other exits from box 9. They can't join to each other in box 9. So those and those are all path. Now that is the equivalent of those, isn't it? No, that doesn't feel right. Hang on. No, it's not right, in fact. It's these, isn't it? That's the equivalent. Okay. And we can draw a line segment there, and we can draw a line segment there. Right, and now what we can do is think about unvisitable cells in row 7. Now, if both of these were 8 and 9, because I've still got to put 8 and 9 in, and 8 and 9 are going to be grey cells, so there's only 3 possible positions. If they were both here, you couldn't get both of these segments out. They both have to turn down into box 9. So that is not an 8-9 pair. So this is 8 or 9. This is grey. Now, does that mean we go diagonally? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. We could go up. Oh, bobbins. Sorry. One of these is 8 or 9. So these two cells are sort of... Yeah, okay, that's important for this. Because what we can't do now is that. That move is not going to work. Because I know one of these cells is not visited. So I think this has to come down. And then this is either doing this or this. And then I think this is going up, but I don't know how it's doing that. I'm not sure. It might be obvious, but it's not obvious to me. Okay, no, what is obvious? Oh, I've made an error. I have made an error. Let's go back. Oh, this is what I was exactly worried about. Okay. The logic was correct in general, but one of the implications was not correct. So what I said was that these have to extend into box 9, and then they have to exit through this cell, through that exit, and this exit. What I should have done is said those two are forced. How does this get out? It's going to have to go there. This one could go down. I just didn't see it because I was thinking that this is sort of... It just doesn't look right, does it? So that one could go down. So then this... I've got to go back over here again. So those two are definitely in. This one has to get out. But that one is going into one of those. But I don't know it's this one. It might end up being this one. It might well end up being this one. But we can't assume it's this one. And that's distressing in the extreme. Okay, but then we can still say that this right-hand end has to drop into one of those. So this can't be 8-9. So that's still 8-9, and that's still grey, which means that one is grey. Oh, I was going to write 8 and you can't do that time. Well, you can limit this. You can limit it, can't you? Because it has to be either a 4, 5 or a 6 or an 8. It can't be a 1, 2 or a 3. And it's not a 6 actually because it sees 6. So 9 is in one of two places up there and that's not going to be visitable. So maybe... Oh, I don't know. Oh, I tell you what, you know, it gets 3 stars for difficulty. It's not that easy. I don't think it's that easy. Anyway, I think, as I've just shown, it's very simple to make an error. I hope I haven't made any others. No, what I was about to say isn't true. So this video camera is summing 2 digits. It could pick up another digit, but only 1 as a maximum because we've already thought about whether it could have 4. So if that was a 6, that would have to be a 1. And if that was a 3, then it could be either. If this is a 5, that would have to be a 3. But the 5 could be... Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? In column 1, the pressure's less. Because this digit has lower options than this digit. One of these is 8 or 9. So this is sort of it's a domino, isn't it, of one of each. Now, what on earth do we do next? 9 is in one of two places in box 8, because it can't be on green cells. This video camera can't be a 9. That video camera can't be a 9. Oh, I see, I've got a 9 here, so that does sort of make sense. These... No, that's what I was about to say. Oh, this is tricky. This is definitely tricky. Do I know? I know they're different. Oh, I know they're different parity. So that's got to be an odd number. It's got to be... Can't be 1, can it? 3, 5, 7, or 9. Oh, I suppose it can't be 3. Because if it was 3, it's meant to be visited, and we're told that video cameras are not visited. So 5, 7, or 9. If this was a 7, 8, 9, as this one was, then that would have to be an 8. I've still got to put... Ah, got something. Right, let's look at row 8. I've still got to put 7 and 9 into row 8. Now, what would happen if that was 7 and 9? I need to check this, but I don't think that works, does it? Because I have to get to this cell, which I could only get to from these two cells then, because I can't go through that round wall spot, and then I'd be stranded. I couldn't get out. So that can't be a 7-9 pair, which means this is a 7 or a 9. And now, oh dear. Right, so now this one, oh, maybe I knew this before my error. That one does go through there, which means Phinx does go through here. And this one has to do, oopsie, one has to do that, because otherwise it can't get out, which means Phinx does the same. She does that. Now that gives me 2 more cells of path. Again, we've got to be careful. We could go diagonally here. Oh, wait. We do go diagonally there, actually. This is exactly the thought we've been having. Can we have 4 visited cells that this video camera sees? Absolutely not. So that's not visited. That's not visited. Phinx goes diagonally. Phinx goes diagonally. And this cell, I suppose, is unvisited because it's the equivalent of this one. And the paths have to be equivalent. So now, well, now what do we do? Who knows? Who knows? I don't think I do know. Wow. Okay. This can't be a 6. Because if this was a 6, this would be a minimum of 6 plus 1 plus 2, and a maximum, because we couldn't have this as a double-digit number. But 6 plus 1 plus 2 is 9, which this can't be. So that's going to have to be 3. This is 6. So 6 is in one of those 3 by Sudoku. And if this was 5, again, because we're adding another digit in, this would get to 9, which can't work. So that's got to be 1. That's a 5. This can't be 4 because that would make this a 9. Well, make it more than 9, actually. So that... Oh. Yeah, it's okay. That's got to be 5 plus 2 plus 1, doesn't it? In order to keep this down to below 9. Oh, this was a win for the goodies. Now. But what does it mean? I don't know. I'm not sure. So this is... It depends what this digit is, doesn't it? It could be as low as 2, but it could be a 4. That would oh, it's only 2 or 4 actually, because if it's 4, this is 8. So this is 6 or 8. So if that was 6, that would be 8. Don't know what that means. Probably something. I know one of... Oh. No, I was going to say... Oh, here's a lovely point. Here's a lovely point. And I'm getting this point not from Inks's path, actually, but from Phinx's path. So one of the things I've been mulling over as we've been doing this, I've had in the back of my mind that I need to put 1s, 2s and 3s in all of the rows and columns. And I was looking at this row and thinking, well, that could be a 2. So there's no necessity to go in here. But if I apply that same logic in column 1 and ask where 3 goes, where does it go? And the answer is it can't, because it's visited, it can't be in unvisited cells. So it is there, which means the path does visit at least one of these 2 cells, which means the path does visit at least one of those 2 cells. Now, what does that mean, though? Does it actually mean anything? Because it can visit a 6. So, 1... Oh, this has to come straight down. Because again, I think we looked at this. If it did come this way, then this would go that way, and we couldn't put the 1 of 8 and 9 into these cells that have the chevron or the 50% green and grey boundary. So this is going to have to go down. 1 of these is taken. 1, 2, 3. This is going to have to come down. 4. 1, 2, 3. No, I don't know. I think there's at least 5 cells of green in box 9. But I don't know what we do with that. So, okay. So in terms of cells that are definitely visitable in row 7, these have to be from 1, 3 and 5, don't they? Now, and then I'd love to know if this goes... The thing is, in fact, I've just realised, unless I can rule this cell out, and then I would know that we'd be just doing this little shimmy here. If this is an option, then we could go diagonally, we could go that way or this way, and there would be all sorts of ways of navigating through box 5. 1 is in one of those 2 cells in the central box. You know I'm getting desperate when I resort to Sudoku. What about 6? No, 6 could be here, couldn't it? Absolutely could. This is 5, 7 or 9. Okay, I need some video camera help. How can the video cameras help me? What video cameras have I got left to use? I've done those 2. I've got this one, which I really know. I know it's something, an odd and an even number is all I know about it, I think. And then I've got this one, which depends on this digit. That one seems to be done. That one's done as well. So no, okay, maybe it's not video camera help. Okay, that's not a good thing, is it? So how do we make more progress? Okay, hang on. Maybe I can I've got that as a line segment, so I should mimic that there, shouldn't I? And I've got that as a line segment, so I should mimic that. And then I know this is either doing that or that, depending. And this is doing that or that, depending. I suppose, okay, I can, because I know one of these is high, I know that this is one of each. It's a visited cell and an unvisited cell. And 1 is making an appearance in one of those cells. 3, 3 is in that domino. That could be important. And 2 must be in one of these 3 cells in box 4. But golly, I don't know. That's tricky, actually, I think. It's tricky. So, where on earth do we look for solace here? My phone is buzzing at me. That's bad, actually. That is a bad reminder. Because I've got a call with Meryl later to record a video for last month's competition winner, Meryl, and that is in half an hour, and this is looking very unfinished. So I may have to come back to it afterwards, which would be, well, it would be entirely the fault of the raters. I looked at the 3-star rating and thought, oh yeah, I've got an hour or so. How long have I been going? 53 minutes. I'm nowhere. Oh dear. Okay. I don't know. I just don't know where to look, actually. It's far from clear to me. Could we do? Thing is, the cupcakes themselves. I mean, I suppose I could cover the grid with any green cell. Has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, and see if that led to any Sudoku. But I really, really don't want to do that. Like, I really don't want to do that. No, I was about to say something. It's just not true. What about 7 in box? 7 in box 9? Is that restricted? Yeah, that is a bit. It's got to be one of those 2, I think. So it's got to be in one of those 3. That's not helpful. So if I did... See, every little deduction could help. If you knew both of those were green, then you could place 7 here in this box, which would be a useful thing. Yeah, in fact, that would give me 9. That would give me 8. It would really, really do some damage if I knew that both of those were green. Now, what about if one of those was grey? Because I know one of them is green because it's 3. If one of them was grey... I don't know why I find it easier to look down here as well. For some reason, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should be looking up here. Yeah, 7 is a bit restricted in box 4 by this 7. But 6 isn't so restricted because 6 could absolutely be a green cell. Oh, hang on, where's 8? Oh dear. I didn't see this at all. 8 can't be in the green cell, so that's an 8. Actually, that's not very helpful. if I'm honest. I'll explain why in a moment. 8 in this box is now a bit restricted. It's got to be up there because it can't be here, or it can't be in any of these by Sudoku, and it doesn't seem to be in any of those. So 8 is in one of 2 places in box 5 now. I'd love to know it was here. But also, in this column, I now know that there's a 4 or a 5 up here. In fact, maybe I have to do that. I'm going to do it. 1, 2, 4, 5. And that isn't a 1. And the digit up there that is not used must be a 4 or a 5. Because 1 and 2 are definitely path cells. Okay. So how does that help, if at all? So this column, what does it need? 3, 4, 6, 7. 3, 4, 6, 7. Now I should be able to do something with that, but I don't know what it is. Wait. Yes. Okay, I now have to pull the same point up here, don't I? What happens if this isn't 7? Well, then 7 and 9 are in both of those cells, and when I go and pick up the 3 over here, which I have to do, I won't get out again. So that has to be... Well, yes, it has... Oh, no. Well, it has to be 7. It does. It does have to be 7. And now 7 is... now 7 is in the middle of the puzzle. Now 7 on grapes... 7 on grapes can only go next to 1s and 2s because we need digits that are sufficiently different. They've got to be 5 different, so that's going to have to be 2, and that's going to have to be 1. Oh, that's nearly jolly exciting. It's nearly jolly exciting, but I don't think it is. 2 is now in one of 2 places in box 8. And can we do more then with this? So I know at some point I'm going into column 9, maybe for 2 cells, and then I'm coming out through 1 cell. So this is another of these funny green-grey dominoes here. Because once I visit these 2 cells, I've got to get out. So one of these must be green. Where's 7? That's huge. Where's 7 in column 1? It's up at the top by Sudoku. So that's a 3-7 pair, which means this is also a grey-green. That means this... What does that mean? Well, it means this is grey-green. But if we mimic... This is grey-green. So I know one of these is used. And I know one of these is used. I know one of these is used. So 5 cells in this box are used. What I'm very impressed with so far with this is that you can't just do... You have to look at both bits of path, even though it's totally symmetrical. The implications are different, and then you have to sort of keep bouncing back and forward. Right, now in this column, what have we not used? 4 and 6. So they are these digits, I think, which means this digit is not a 4 or a 6. So these are 2, 3, 5. And 4 is now up here in column 3. And 1, 6 here gives me the 6. So this is a 6, and this is a 4. So nearly. The 6 is really restricted in that box. 9 is actually 9 is a bit restricted in box 5. I've not really thought about it before, but it's got to be in one of these 2. And therefore 9 is placed in row 5. It's there, so that we can immediately... Right, so 9 is also now limited in box 9, and therefore a bit limited in box 3. That feels like it might matter. So if this was 7, that would be 9, and that would be a total blockage. But it wouldn't be a total blockage because the path of inks could come down there, could come there, there, and there. And that's probably fine. And if this was 7, this would be on the path. So the path, if this was 7, it would be off the path. Yeah, I think that's still okay. I think that would be on the path in that situation. Okay. So therefore, what does this mean? Haven't got a Scooby-Doo. Not a single Scooby-Doo. I don't know. 7s, 8s, and 9s, I think, are very critical to sort of figuring out how the paths have to flow. But I don't know. I mean, how am I meant to know where these go from here? They seem to have loads of options. I mean, is this in any way obvious? Could I argue? Maybe it's something to. Maybe there's a way to decide. So, is it really possible that both of those are off the path? Then there would be a 3 in one of those. But that looks okay. Maybe there's a reason these can't be in. They'd have to be an 8-9 pair, wouldn't they? That would have to be 9. That would have to be 8. 9. This would be 7. That would be 7. I don't think that's an issue. Famous last words, but I just don't. 7 and... oh, nearly. 7 is quite restricted in box, this funny box, box 8 is a technical term. So if this was 7, that would be 7. And then these would be 2 path cells that would have to add to 7. So they could be 1, 6, 2, 5, or 3, 4. No, it couldn't be 1, 6. They'd be 2, 5, or 3, 4. Both look quite comfortable there, don't they? If this was 5, this would have to be 2, 3. 5, 2, 3. Does that work? And if this is 9, well, this could be anything, I think. Or, well, nearly anything. I suppose, actually, if it's 9, it can't be 1, 8, or 2, 7, because 8 and 7 can't be on the path, or 3, 6. If it's... oh, hang on. No, it could be 4, 5. 9, 4, 5 would work. Probably. There might be a reason that doesn't work, but I don't know what it is. Okay. And I know that one of those two must be on the path at least. Holy gosh. I mean, I'm probably going to regret saying this, but I don't see how to use this box, or this box really. They don't seem to have enough pressure on them. Maybe Sudoku in this row. 2, 3, 4, 5. This isn't a 2. So is that helpful? I don't think so. I mean, it might be. I don't think it is. If we knew, it's almost... This isn't a 2 anymore. So what have I got in here? 3, 5, and 8. That can't. This can't be 3, can it? Maybe this row is where I'm meant to look. That can't be 3 because it's off the path, definitely. So this is 3, 5, or 8. Is there anything we can get rid of from here? I don't think so. Just checking the time there. I've still got at least 10 minutes to finish. That should be a mere bagatelle. Come on, brain. Come up with at least something. That would be kind of you. 6 is in this box somewhere. But 6 is visitable or not visitable. Both of things are fine. 3 is definitely up there. We could well get a 3 in the corner. If we got a 3 in the corner, this would be, so both of those would be in. You can't do that. Hang on, that can't be true. No, that is true. That's huge. I didn't realise this. Yeah, that's very clever. Not of me, and very much not of me. If 3 is in the corner, because this is 7, you have to get in and out of this cell, which would require us using both of these, where apparently one of them is a 9, and we couldn't do it. So 3 is not in the corner. People will. So this is a 7, which is therefore a grey. This is a green. Whoopsie, it's a green 3. And I think, yeah, the point is that we have to go diagonally in here, because if we don't, we run into exactly the same problem. If I go up here, the 9 gets pushed there, but as I get the 3, I won't be able to get out again. So this is a diagonal shift. Now, I hope that's going to do something magical down here. So I'm now coming into this cell on a diagonal for inks. Which doesn't, okay, that has shifted the 7 up, actually. That can't be a 7 then, because this is path. And this is not path. So this can't be 7. So that has to be 7, and that is now grey. And now 9 has got pushed up, so that is 9. And now this is 7. So one of those is 7. So that's 9. And that's 8. And now this isn't 9. But that is, so that's grey. That's huge. Now we're getting quincunxed in, it's definitely a word. You can definitely be quincunxed. Just have to say it very carefully. So we've been quincunxed in this box because of this shape, which is a quincunx. And I've got 7, 9 here. So I can transplant that up here, can't I? Surely. It's those two. They are now grey. So these are both green. And the path, these are both green. The path we're taking here is like, oh, no, that's okay. That's so. Oh, actually, look at all this. It all gets done. It all gets done. So that goes up there, there. Here, here. Now, I don't know what that means yet, but it must mean something exciting. How can all of that happen? Oh, I see it. It moves 9 here. Moves 9 out of that one. Oh, go on. Yes. Where's 9 in box 2? There, because it has to be off the path, which means, okay, so I get 9 here by that fair-weathered friend. How many 9s have I got? All of them. Oh, this, hang on. No, that couldn't be 9. It couldn't. Well, in fact, that can't be 7 either. That's got to be 5. So this has got to be a 2, 3 pair now. This is an 8. This can't be 3 because it's off the path. So it's a 5. So this is not a 5. This is not a 2, so that's got to be a... Oh, that's going to do my video camera at the bottom. That's finally become a 6, look. I haven't put 8 into a grey cell in this box, so I'm doing that. Oh, good grief, this is extraordinary. I don't even dare get up hope, but suddenly some things have been happening. 1, 3, 5 here. Okay, what do I need here? 3, 4, 6. But I can't put 3 off the path, can I? So this is 4 or 6. This 5 means this is a 3. So it's 2, 5, 6 as the digits we've not placed in column 2. And that 5 at the top we can use a little bit at least. We can't put 1 or 2 in a grey cell, ever. This 3 is doing a little bit more work, so 3, 2. 3 is in one of these two. It can't be in the grey, that's why I haven't put it there. And 7 is there. It's just Sudoku. 7 is there, just Sudoku. Okay, so we get 2 more greys. And now this top cupcake has to come out there, which means this, well, actually everything. It means lots of things. So inks has to do the same, but we can mirror this to there because we can't now visit that cell. Mirror this to there, we can't now visit that cell. Okay, so those are both green. I only visit 4 cells in this box, so 1s, 2s and 3s have to appear in these 4 cells. 8 has to appear there in box 3. So 8 appears there in box 6. How many 8s have we got? Loads. I can get another one there. That's huge because that's off the path and that's going to force me to come through that cell. And then we can mimic that over here like this. And I'm not sure, but that might be the paths. The paths are done. I found the way through. I've just got Sudoku to do now. That's easier said than done, believe me. So have we just done all our 7s, 8s and 9s? We've certainly done 7s. Yeah, it felt like we had. It did feel like we were onto a bit of a winner there, didn't it, for a moment? 2 is in one of these 2 cells. 1, 6. 2, 5. Is it a video camera I've not used? Or is it, what else could it be? 1 has to be in one of those cells. 1 has to be in one of those cells. 5 is in one of these. Oh, so by Sudoku, this is a 5. So maybe I should chase other digits around and just see if we can do any magic with them. But it feels more like I should be using 1s and 2s rather than 1s, 2s and 3s, sorry, rather than, because they genuinely always have to be in green. It's funny, I can't at first. Okay. Well, yes, I can. Well, I can do a little thing. 3 in this. We could ask where 3 is in column 9, couldn't we? It can't be there, so it's going to have to be in that domino, which means it's not here. That doesn't do it though. Oh, the bottom row. I could have. It's weird. It's weird how my inability to do Sudoku comes to the fore. Right, these digits are from 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that is not 4, and we can't put 2 or 3 off here, so this is 4 or 5. Which, I mean, it's almost good, but it's not good enough. Oh, my 1, 6 is done by Sudoku. Oh, that's quite big, so that's 5. This is not 5 anymore. 6 over here. Can we? No, we can't. It's in one of 3 places, but I think all are available. So in this column, I've now got a 1-3 pair over here, which places the 2 in box 9. So this isn't a 2 anymore. So this digit at the top is a 3 or a 4. And 1 is exactly there, which places 3, which places 4, which places 3. This is a 4, 6, so this becomes a 5. Now in this column, what do we need? 2, 4, 6. Let's put it in. We know the 2 won't be in the corner. We know the 2 won't be in a row with another 2 in it. So that is a 2. And that's 4, 6. So this is 5, apparently. So that's 6. That's 2. This is a 1, 4, 5 triple. So that's 2. That's 5. That's 2. That's 3. Oh, I scarce get... So worried we're suddenly going to come across an impossibility. Oh, that's a reminder from Zoom telling me that my call is about to start. 5 minutes, that's plenty of time. Leave me alone. Go away, snooze. These are 1, 6. Okay. That corner digit is a 6. So that cupcake is a 4. And this column is finished if we were to write a 4 into it. Does that feel right? That's a 4, that's a 6, that's a 6, that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 3. Boom! Yes! It's fantastic. It's 214 solves in 2.8 days. Marty, you're so clever. Right, let's read what happens next. Experiment completed successfully. Test date, 15th of April, 1975. Cells visited, 42. Blackcurrants eaten, 2. Redcurrants eaten, 1. Grapes eaten, 1. The rats mirrored each other's movements perfectly, continuing to perform to their usual standard as though nothing has happened. I, however, have been somewhat distracted. I keep replaying the moment in my head, the look on his face, the fall, and my futile attempts to help. Watching on from the cage, Finkz had let out a long, distressed squeal. I glanced up and seen her looking down at us, scared and confused, but Finkz, with a PH, was focused solely on her friend, staying close as though trying to comfort her. Of course, I hadn't registered it consciously at the time, but that image has stayed with me all week. It's getting quite emotional, this story. Absolutely love that, Marty. I can't believe that you created a puzzle that I finished in time, even with interruptions from doorbells and slamming doors, with exactly 2 minutes to spare until I have to solve with Meryl. That is very clever of you indeed, and what a beautiful puzzle. It's just beautiful, isn't it? The logic is unusual, interesting, and the way it bounced back and forwards between the 2 paths, even though there's such symmetry in the grid, is the hallmark of a superb setter. Say no more. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.